Hey lighting lovers and theatrical trailblazers, welcome back to the channel where stage magic meets technical mastery. Jerry with that Theatrically Jerry, and today we are diving deep into SHEHDS 200 watt red, green, blue, amber, cyan, and lime LED par light, a fixture that promises bold color mixing, pro level control, and a beam angle wide enough to wash your entire set in drama. But does it deliver? Let's find out in my in-depth review. Included with purchase is your user manual, and if you haven't watched my channel already, you're going to know that I'm going to tell you to keep and read your user manual because it is going to give you information such as maintaining this fixture, operating conditions, how to safely mount this fixture to a truss, as well as your technical specifications, and last but not least, your DMX channel values. And this particular fixture has two channel modes, a 6 and a 10, so you're going to want to keep this. Next is a PowerCon power cable, and SHEHDS has colored these in what I'm calling their cheese yellow color. And what that signifies is that it goes with a SHEHDS fixture. However, when I see yellow like this, I usually think that it's IP rated, so it does kind of confuse me. But this feels very heavy. It's a very thick power cable, so they're not skimping on the quality of their power cables. You're also getting a 3-pin DMX cable, and this is for data transmission. Again, they have colored it yellow to signify that it goes with your SHEHDS fixture. Last but not least, but certainly important, is a safety cable, and they have included this as well. And as you can see, it's a super thick braided metal safety cable. So I love seeing that lighting manufacturers are taking safety into account, as that is super important when operating fixtures. So great job on that, SHEHDS. Right out of the box, the SHEHDS 200 watt par light feels solid. The aluminum alloy shell gives it a professional weight and durability to it. And the dual mounting brackets are sturdy enough for ceiling rigs or floor setups. It's compact, but don't let the size fool you. This light packs a punch. It measures in at 8.6 inches tall by 8.6 inches wide by 8.6 inches deep. It weighs a super lightweight 8.2 pounds. The front of this fixture features a acrylic lens. Behind the acrylic lens is the all-new 200 watt RGBACL LED cob or chip on board. As you can see, it has a super unique layout that helps really blend the colors together. To also facilitate in color blending, SHEHDS has added a new frosted reflector that really cuts down on hot spots and lets this light shine. The back of this fixture features a fairly clean I/O layout. We have our typical 4-character red LED display here. Below that is your menu, up, down, and enter buttons for navigating the user interface. Below the LED display here is your PowerCon power in and out for chaining power. To the right of that is your 3-pin DMX in and out for chaining data. They've also included a grounding screw for your safety, and this is connected to the ground wire here. I would have preferred to see a resettable safety fuse, but there isn't one visible on this fixture or included. Control is where this light really shines, whether you're running DMX 512, going sound active, or setting it to auto mode. The SHEHDS PAR adapts to your setup. Let's power this on and check out the user interface. So there is no on or off switch, so what we have to do is plug this in. So I'm going to go ahead and plug it into my power supply so we can check out the built-in user interface and menus. All right, so if you guys have used budget-friendly light fixtures in the past, you're going to feel right at home with this user interface and menu system. We're going to go over it just briefly with you guys. Right now, the menu is off. You do need to press a button here. Your first menu usually is A, which is for a DMX address. However, this fixture has two DMX channel modes. This is for DMX channel mode 6, so that means 6 channels. You can select any value from 512 to 001. Now, I have had some viewers ask me, why can't I set this to 0? I don't want 6 channel mode. DMX universes don't start at 000. They always start at 1. However, if you don't want the 6 channel mode and you want the 10 channel mode, just leave this at 1 and set your address here on the A menu. You can set it anywhere from 001 to 512, and that's going to put this fixture into 10 channel mode. So keep that in mind. Our next menus are going to be the dimmers for the individual colors. So we have our red. You can set this anywhere from 0 to 255. 255 being 100% intensity for red. You can also do that with your green, your blue, your amber, your cyan, and your lime. So you can set all of your dimmers right on board with this fixture. Our next menu is going to say FH, and this is for your flash or strobe. You can set it anywhere from 99 being the fastest to 1 being the slowest. Our next menu is going to be our color select. So this is going to allow you to select all of the pure colors or the colors this fixture is capable of producing. So for instance, CL01 is going to be red, 2 is green, 3 is blue, 4 is amber, 5 cyan, 6 is lime, and then the factory has pre-mixed a couple colors just to get you guys started. So that goes all the way up to 12. Our next menu is CC, and that is for our color change. Color change is basically a built-in macro for this fixture, and you can select the speed anywhere from 1 to 99, 99 being the fastest. And you can do that with your other macros here. So we have our DE01. You can set it to 99 being the fastest, and what that's going to do is just basically do a super smooth color change with all of the different built-in colors. So this is also another macro. And then we also have our color pulse, and that's another macro. Again, can go all the way to 99 for speed. Those are the 3 macros that you are typically going to see with a LED PAR, as they don't do a whole lot of different special effects on them. Our next is sound, and this is for our sound reactive mode. And that is it for the built-in menus, because this is a super simple LED PAR. But as you can see, very easy to navigate the user interface on this. You're going to have your fixtures up and running super quick. Loved seeing the simple, easy to use, easy to navigate user interface of SHEHDS 200W LED cob. I love seeing the new design of this LED PAR. It looks awesome. The PAR has been redesigned from the ground up. This shell is now a solid piece of aluminum, and it really does add a sleek look to this fixture. As you can see here, there are oversized passive cooling fins running down the entire length of this fixture. They've even upgraded the mounting bracket or legs of this light. Let's go ahead and look at those. Thumb screws are always hit and miss with LED fixtures as well. So I was thrilled to see these giant oversized thumb screws that SHEHDS has included with their new LED PARs. They've even gone down to the detailing of the S logo on these thumb screws. Not only are these super easy to tighten, they're also super easy to loosen up. I was really tired of the circular design of thumb screws, and this is just more logical and super easy to tighten this and loosen it. You're getting more leverage by having it shaped like this instead of a circular dial. So you can really tighten these and you're not going to have to worry about your fixture moving around. Loved seeing that. These are just some of the redesigns and details that SHEHDS has paid attention to. As stated earlier in the review, SHEHDS 200W PAR has a all-new cob or chip on board that has superior color mixing and dimming capabilities. Let's check out the 0 to 100% linear dimming system. As stated, this is a new chip design. So let's just see how good it is. I'm going to go ahead and bring up my red. And that is our red at full intensity. And I'm going to bring it right back down to 0. Okay, so some things I'm noticing, and you're going to notice it too here, is that there is some visible stepping at the lower end. As you can see, the light is either on or off. So at 1 on our DMX channel 2, the DMX channel value of 1 causes the LEDs to still be on, and then 0, they're off. So that would be considered a step. And as you can see some steps here as well. But these steps are not super bothersome to me. And it does have a very smooth linear dimming at the higher end here. So when you do fade these out, you are going to get a smooth theater-like dimming. It's just not going to be a superior one that you would get with a 16-bit dimming system. Our green is the same way. It's either on or off. Our blue. And this new LED chip, by the way, is super bright. I mean, you can't look directly at it. So you're not going to have to worry about, am I going to get enough light output for my small to medium size stage? You are definitely going to get it with this fixture. I'm going to go ahead and bring up all of them just to show you guys what this new chip design looks like. It's super cool. They're calling it a LED matrix, which is definitely fitting considering what it looks like. So let's go ahead and take a look at this much closer so we can see just how cool this looks. So here is the new LED matrix or array that is on SHEHDS Latest 200W LED cob. Look how amazing all of the little LEDs are on here. So these little SMDs on this chip, super cool. They're laid out in a random pattern. And what that is doing is actually giving you much better color rendering as well as dispersing the light. So you're not going to get a super annoying hot spot of a certain color. And as you can see, we have, we're going to go ahead and try to show you guys these individually. There's our red. Here's our green. Here's our blue. Here's our amber. Here's our cyan, which is not a color you generally see on a budget-friendly LED par. And here's our lime, which is also not what you traditionally see on a budget-friendly par. And we're going to go over why there is cyan and lime on this fixture later on in the review. All right, to give you guys a better idea of the dimmer, I'm going to put this white sheet of paper in the front to show you just how smooth the dimming is. So, as you can see on the lower end here, super smooth and not a whole lot of stepping. So you are going to still get that theater-like dimming. You are also getting a 0 to 25 hertz strobe on this fixture. Let's see how quickly the refresh rate is of the strobe. So the hertz is being measured as how many times the light is going to flash within a second. So theoretically, this is going to flash 25 times in a second. So I'm going to bring up our red here, and then we're going to adjust our strobe channel. So as you can see at the lower end, you are going to get your 1 strobe per second. And as we go up higher on the strobe channel, it's going to adjust the hertz to a faster strobe. I'm going to keep bringing this up till we get to around our 25 hertz strobe effect. So this is their 25 hertz strobe. And as you can see, it is strobing very quickly. The strobe effect looks great on this. I definitely think it's a little slower than 25 hertz, to be honest with you. But the strobe effect looks great. You're not going to complain about the look of the strobe. I would say the refresh rate's a little slower, not much, maybe 22 hertz to 20 hertz. But again, strobe looks great. Let's try a different color. So here's our green strobe. And our blue. Our amber. Our cyan. And our lime strobe. Let's see what it looks like when all of these are on and we create a really nice white look. By the way, and we are going to go over this later, but the white on this looks amazing. Let me go ahead and put this sheet of paper up in front of it so you can just kind of see how quickly the refresh is on it. So, not bad on the strobe either. Not the greatest I've ever seen, but it's not a bad strobe, so it looks great. Let's go ahead and check out some of the built-in macros. Now, macros are shows that the light manufacturer has included, so you don't have to create your own. And there is a dedicated macro channel that you can select. And I have that right here. And you can, of course, adjust the speed of the macros as well. So right here, we are going to have a color pulse. So as you can see, it's going to pulse the color of light. And again, you can adjust the speed to any setting that you would like. And this is our gradient effect, and it's just going to go through all of the built-in colors available. I'm going to go ahead and turn my dimmer down so you guys can kind of see the effect a little bit better. Again, this LED cob super bright, so you're not going to worry about light output or intensity. And I really feel like that is due to the brand new chip as well as the updated reflector on this. You have a crazy, chaotic rainbow look going on here. And this is our color change, so it's just going to change abruptly through all the available colors. And again, you can adjust the speed. And you get a really cool rainbow strobe effect with this. I love seeing that. And you can slow it right down if you want as well. And also on this macro channel, it is going to give you the ability to select solid colors. And in order to do that, you are going to have to adjust the speed channel for DMX. But as you can see, it is going to give you some already built-in colors, so you don't have to dial them in. It just saves you time when you're programming. So you can select solid red, green, blue, just like you could with the onboard system, cyan or lime. And then they have mixed in some colors for you. You do have some whites going on here. And again, these are the built-in macros that are included with this fixture. I want to show you guys just how amazing the color rendering is on this red, green, blue, amber, cyan, and lime LED par. Let's take a look at the pure colors first. So pure colors are the colors that this LED chip is capable of producing without having to mix other colors with it. So for instance, we're going to go ahead and look at our red here. So this is our pure red. Now the wavelength of this red looks great. I'm going to put, again, this piece of paper here. So we have a really nice red. We do have a really nice green here as well. There is a slight blue color to it, so the wavelength on this does have a slight blue tint, but it's definitely a pleasing green. We have our blue here, and the blue looks great. You're going to get that nice deep royal blue that's almost in the ultraviolet wavelength. Amber, one of my favorite colors to use while designing, looks great as well. It almost looks like the color of SHEHDS cheese yellow that they selected, but again, amber checks out with me. Our new color for color mixing, cyan. It looks great. It's a cross between a green and a blue. Definitely a beautiful color. And our lime. I love the lime color too. It just to me represents limelight. But again, here's our pure lime. Now let's go ahead and see what all of these colors together theoretically should make a very pleasing white for us. So this is our white. And as stated earlier, you were wondering why they were including cyan and lime. Well, what that does is it opens up the possibility of mixing more than 16.7 million colors that are in the RGB spectrum for color mixing. And one of the things that lime does really well is makes very pleasing white. So you're not getting that obnoxious color separation here on the edges either. You're just getting a super white, pleasing light. And that is one of the reasons why they didn't select a white LED chip for this, is because with cyan and lime, you can make a super amazing white to the point where you don't need a white LED chip. So I actually took cyan out, and as you can see, you're getting a beautiful neutral white just because you have lime mixed in with it. So if I take the lime out and you just use RGB, you're going to get that really gross white that we don't like seeing. But if you mix in lime, you get a supernatural, pleasing white light. And if you mix in cyan, again, you're going to get a nice, cool white light. So that is the reason why I'm so excited about this LED cob, is because cyan and lime, believe it or not, really influence the color of an LED light, because red, green, and blue mixed together to make white is not a ideal solution if you're looking for a white that is natural to skin colors as well as your color rendering. So the raw on this, or the Cree color render index, is extremely high. So anything that is going to be hit with this light is just going to pop and look amazing. So we're going to take a look at this better later on in my studio garage, which is much wider, but we're about 15 feet away from this back wall here. And this back wall is 18 feet wide. Now, to give you guys an idea of just how wide the beam angle is on this fixture, I'm going to bring up the white. And the beam angle on this fixture is 69 degrees. That is extremely wide. This makes for a super pleasing wash light. So if you're looking for a wash that's going to cover your entire stage, this is one light fixture, by the way. And you would actually see over here, if there wasn't my storage container here in the way, this literally covers from one side to the other. I mean, this is an extremely wide wash light. And as you can see, it is extremely bright as well. It is washing out my hand here. It's hitting this back wall. It's just an overall really great wash. So if you're looking for a wash, you are definitely going to want some of these for your stage, because the wash on this is insane. Here's our green. Here's our blue. Our amber. Our cyan. Our lime. And then with all of them together to make a very nice white. This is covering so much space for one little super lightweight light fixture. So again, you're not going to worry about intensity with this. The intensity is insane. As far as coverage goes, I mean, again, this is 15 feet away, and we have a super wide coverage. It's actually covering more than my camera can cover, because over here, there's still light. I mean, this thing throws out so much light. I was being very adamant about mentioning the 69-degree beam angle to go right into this segment, which is barn doors. You're definitely going to want to purchase these barn doors, and this is a separate purchase. If you don't know what barn doors do, they help cut off light where you don't want it to spill. And in the case of having fixtures that are super wide beam angles, barn doors are just something you're going to want. Regardless if you're going to use them or not, they are just nice to have. So SHEHDS does include these super nice barn doors. They are a separate purchase. They do not come with this light. However, I really feel like they should, but that would just increase the cost. These barn doors, super thick metal on them, really nice black powder coat, and they have these really nice hinges. They don't squeak or make any noises. Something else barn doors do is they help protect your front element here from being damaged, especially during transit. So it's just something nice to have. One thing that did bother me, and I am going to point this out because I do with everything that bothers me, is I have never seen barn doors mounted in this way. So traditionally, this would be turned so that we have a square shape, because when we are cutting our lights off, we want that square or rectangular beam angle hitting the floor. However, with this new design, they decided to go with a triangular shape. So having this triangular barn door shape is going to create exactly that. It's going to create this shape on your floor. Now, I've never seen a triangular cutoff on a floor before, so I did bring that up with the designers of this fixture. It would be nice to be able to just turn this so that it is a square shape instead of a diamond shape. So I'm just throwing that out there for you guys to let you know that if you do get the barn doors, your cutoffs are going to be triangular, and there's really no way around it. I thought maybe, as you can see here, there's just 4 screws holding the barn door on. I thought maybe if I took those off and kind of turned it, but it has to do with how they have placed the pre-drilled holes. They should have placed the pre-drilled holes here, 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 and here. That would have allowed for a square barn door shape. However, it has been rotated, so the pre-drilled holes are here, 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 and here, which only allows for a triangular shape. So definitely keep that in mind, and we will look at that later on. Again, when I get into the studio garage, we need a lot more room for this fixture, especially with the 69-degree beam angle. I will be bringing this out into the studio garage to show you guys the sound active mode, as well as get some haze going with it, just to give you guys an idea of how wide of a beam angle this new LED chip on board is capable of producing. So something I like to do in my videos is give you guys a sound test, and what this is allowing you guys to hear is just how loud the active cooling system is on this fixture. So SHEHDS 200W LED PAR does have an active cooling system, which means the fans kick on the hotter the cob gets. There are 2 fans inside of this particular fixture. I have taken it apart and looked at all the internals. There is a very large active cooling fan on the massive aluminum heat block. There is also a smaller cooling fan right here that helps draw out the heat, and it's also right under the aluminum reflector. So currently we are about a foot away from this fixture, and I do have the fixture off. However, it is an active cooling system, so the fan is currently running just at a much lower RPM. So I'm going to go ahead and let you guys listen to the fan while the fixture's idle. So not very loud. I can hear it. It's definitely not inaudible, but it's not a loud fan. There is no coil whine, which I love not hearing. I was going to say hearing, but I love not hearing a coil whine to a fan. Now what I'm going to do is bring up every single LED so we can get this chip super hot. And we're going to hear just how loud the active cooling fan is when it kicks onto its higher RPM. So the higher RPM did kick on. And again, I have removed my external microphone to give you guys a much better idea of how loud it is. We are a foot away. And as you can hear, not super loud. Something SHEHDS did with this fixture is installed an immediate response to heat. So the temperature of the cob is constantly being monitored by a system, and it will adjust the fan immediately to the speed it needs to be. There is no delay. I loved seeing that as well. And again, the fan is audible, but it's not super loud. You're not going to hear this from about 6 feet away. It's just a nice, quiet, breeze sounding fan. So I think they did a great job with their fans. In the past, their fans have been super loud, so I did think it was very important to give you guys this sound test. I'm going to bring this closer to the mic just to give you guys a better idea of what the fan sounds like. Speaking of sound, this fixture has a built-in sound active mode for syncing to your audio. Let's go out to my larger studio garage and test this out with some haze. All right, so I'm about 15 feet away from this back wall here, And the ceiling here is about 20 feet tall. So it's 20 feet tall here. And as you can see, the one red LED is illuminating a very large area here. So what I'm going to do is kind of show you guys the different colors really fast. As you can see, our green is brighter than the red, and our blue, and our amber, cyan, lime, some pre-mixed green color that they made. These are some of the pre-mixed colors. There's our white. Now, why I'm doing this is to show you guys just how wide these are capable of going. So not only are they extremely wide, but they're also extremely bright. Another thing I wanted to show you guys is the reason why you're going to need shutters with this if you're going to, barn doors, if you're going to want to operate this. So if you cut these barn doors like so, you're going to see the diamond shape I was mentioning earlier, which is not a traditional shape that you want. Usually you want a square shape. So for whatever reason, they decided to go that route with these barn doors, so keep that in mind. But as you can see, barn doors do play a really pivotal part in your light design. For instance, I can create a square. Let me go ahead and move this down a bit. I can create a square shape here, or actually, sorry, rectangular, with these shutters. So shutters are great. They're a great tool to have, and you should definitely own some. I'm hoping that at some point they will release a fix for this so you can have your barn doors going the correct way, which would make this a perfect rectangle on the back wall here instead of a diamond shape. But again, I have pointed this out, and they said that that's how they wanted it to look. So it's just another unique effect, I guess, in your lighting arsenal. So I wanted to show you guys the dimmer capability of this 200-watt LED PAR from SHEHDS. Just in case you guys were wondering if the dimmer didn't look that great or if there was any visible stepping, there is not. This has a very theater-like dimming capability. It's smooth, it looks great. You do see some stepping on the lower end, but that's when you're looking directly at the light, not when it's shining on a surface, as you can see here. So you're going to get buttery smooth dimming with this affordable LED light. So good news there. I just wanted to kind of show you guys and point that out. I'm going to go ahead and leave a link down below, as well as in the video description, for you guys to purchase one of these. I actually recommend you purchase 3 at the minimum, with 5 to 7 being ideal for small stages and 9 to 11 of these for medium to larger sized venues. If you have enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments on this fixture in general, go ahead and leave them down below. I do try to answer questions and comments as quickly as I can. If you enjoy in-depth reviews on things like DJ/stage lighting, atmospherics, and equipment, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and thank you guys for watching.